Good morning, everyone. We're here looking at our 6490, and you can see there where there's twine. There's a pipe burst going to the front links. So the twine actually goes up to the back to where the pipe goes, and when we get the pipe fixed, we'll just pull the string back through. And as you can see, the trailer's full of straw, so that'll be going down to a local farmer to be put under cows. But no, we're just going to look at the three Masseys in our yard. So we have the 6490 that my father bought in 2005, and then we have the 7720, which you've all seen, and I done the review on it, and I done a day's slurry spreading on it. But we bought another Massey, which is a 7726S. And as you can see, it's been spreading slurry. Tractor's been here, oh god, 3 weeks now, I suppose. Maybe a month. Hasn't been doing much. It's just been drawn slurry from tank to tank for lads. Very nice tractor. One second, I get down off this bit of a ramp. I think it's about 260 horsepower. It's sitting on 710s in the back and 600s on the front, and it's in desperate need of a wash. As you can see, we have a nice dry day today, but how long that'll last is anyone's guess. Ground conditions are not ideal, and we've been facing 3 weeks of rain, so there's nothing really being done. But anyway, sorry, back to the tractor. So as you can see, there's a small little hole here, so hopefully I'm going to buy a new cushion for the back of it. But anyway, here's one super cube, or there's the super cube. So yeah, so here's the tractor. I'll put the screen on this. So same steering wheel, same console as on the 7720, but then the seat and all that is black. Again, it comes with 2 electrical rear spools, 2 manual rear spools, and that's for the front links, and that's for the spool on the front. But this one comes with the joystick, which is really quite nice, because I anytime I'm driving it, I'm doing this. But you can do this. Quite nice system. I always thought the joystick on the Fendt was too bulky, but I don't know whether that's too narrow. But still very nice all the same. Fan's on. Where's the fan on? There we go. It's a great absorber. So this one comes with a screen. I can hear the beacon swirling. So this screen is for GPS alone, and the tractor is missing it, or doesn't have the receiver on it. It wasn't sold to the receiver, and we didn't buy one. So when we get the receiver, we will have auto steer on it, which you'll see the buttons right here. It also comes with front PTO. It's loading. Okay, so it's touch screen, and we slide across. This is the eyes of us. And then this is the camera. Where's the GPS setting? Sorry, there's the GPS setting. So when we hook up a GPS, we can use auto steer, create maps. I don't know if we can use the section control on the fertilizer spreader or not, but anyway. But yeah, so there's that screen, and here's the screen. Would you look at that? You'd know the hours. Like 4,000 hours on gone. Like there was I think there's 200 hours or 250 hours gone up on it since we got it. Yeah, very nice tractor, very clean tractor, good tires. I don't drive it that often, so can't really tell you too much about it other than it's really nice. The guy driving it says it doesn't even know the tanker's behind it. It's a bit small. The tanker's nearly a bit small for it. But yeah, there's the joystick, so you know, for your ploughing, up, down, neutral, whatever. So your down refers to this lad. This is your settings for your draft control. You have one spool on the joystick, which is this one right here. Then your PTO, your auto throttle. But there's actually a question for people. So, when you start the PTO and get out of the seat, it turns it off. And I've been talking to people and they're saying you have to flick it twice real fast and it'll stay on. But that doesn't seem to be working on this tractor. So I just wondered if anybody had any input on that. Maybe suggestion of why it's not working. As you can see, full of AdBlue, low on diesel. Air tanks are good too. But yeah, get out and have a look at the back of the tractor. 4 big steps. So here you can see we have our 4 rear spools, our Isobus, air brakes, power beyond, and so on and so forth. It's a good big heavy tractor. The only thing I don't like about it is that I would like a PTO stopper on both sides, but there's not. Big wheels on it. By rights I should probably be sewing with this tractor, but I'd find it hard to leave my 724. She is on the dreaded AdBlue, same as the other one. And she does have the S decals on it. This tractor was bought out of Howard Fulton Tractors up the north. Very nice, very easy to deal with, and very obliging. There's a few little tiny minor things that are going to have to be onto it. There's just a slight little oil leak, and we're not sure whether that's on the tanker or on the tractor. I think it's coming out of this spool, but we're not sure. I only discovered it there this morning when I pulled it out of the shed. But part of it, I suppose. But yeah. Ooh, trying to get camera positioning. Okay. So this Massey now. So we're after buying 2 tractors, one 200 horsepower and 260. And we're after trading in the 6485 Massey, which a lot of you probably recognise on Done Deal. Sorry, I'm just after noticing this. I was just wondering if it was just a thing out of place or something. Let's just see a little bit of a space here. So yeah, so we traded the 6485 into WBD against the 7720. And we're after, we sold the 3645 back in January or February 2022. So we needed to replace the 3645, which kind of was replaced during the summer by the Puma. But we kind of needed a slightly more permanent solution, and we needed something that, well, we needed to buy reliability. We were looking at the option of buying one brand new tractor and hiring one tractor, but it just didn't sit well with us. We hired the Puma last year and it done its job, but just the hiring system just... But anyway, so yeah, so we bought this one first, the 7726S, and it didn't arrive first, just it was paperwork complications. The other one arrived first, and it's a lovely tractor. But sorry, no, we bought this one first, and we were looking for a 6499 actually. And I rang up a bunch of places wondering if they knew of any or had any coming in or anything. And I rang WBD, and they said, I don't have that, but I do have the 7720. And then we got on talking. He said, actually, that tractor's coming from somewhere local. So I rang up the farmer and asked if I could go and see it. And I knew as soon as we seen it, it had been well minded, it was in perfect mechanical order, and WBD was selling a warranty. So within a few days of seeing it, we had the deal done, bought. So that was the story with that one, but this one was bought first. We looked at all sorts of brands, and we had very strongly considered John Deere and Fendt. We just couldn't find anything fitting the bill. We were looking at a 6175R, very nice tractor. Problem was it was the same money as this one, with 100 less horsepower and twice the hours. Well, not twice, it was 5,500 hours. So this just seemed like a better buy. A lot of people think we're mad going with 260 horsepower on our equipment. Like, trailers are decent size, tanks are decent size, dump trailers are decent size, but it's not massive. So 200 horsepower tractor in theory would manage it. Well, 180, we've been dealing with 180 for years. But just the idea of the extra power was two things. One was we can get a steady pace going. We're not trying to utilize every bit of horsepower the tractor has. We can just get into a routine. So for sowing, for example, you can do 8 kilometers an hour down the hill, and you can do 8 kilometers an hour coming back up the hill. You don't need to do 10 down because you're only doing 4 going up. And that was the idea behind buying the 240 horsepower Fendt. So when I'm sowing out in our steep ground, I do 8 down and 8 up, and that's it really. It's just it's a nice and steady routine. You're not bombing, you're not tearing, you're just up and down. So the same theory then with the tankers. When you're on a long draw with tankers, you can just stay at a steady pace with the plenty of power and the 50k boxes. You don't need to be racing around the place or throwing it into corners. You just and you're still covering as much ground. So that was the first reason. And the second reason was we were hoping that by buying these big horsepower tractors, we wouldn't be... Sorry. Excuse me. They wouldn't be under as much pressure and they'd last longer. So that's kind of the theory behind buying the big tractors. So now with the 772 6S, the 7720 and the 724, we have 3 tractors over 200 horsepower. And then we have the 6490, which is doing 203 horsepower. But it got turned up at one point. The story on that, just I don't believe in turning up too much, but the tractor was not putting out the power it's supposed to. And we were talking to some people and convinced the computer was the problem. And a new computer was something like €2,000, whereas to get it remapped was, I think it was €400. So we got it remapped, and after getting it remapped, we were still not convinced. And I think the next idea was the injectors. And when we got the injectors done and put back into the tractor, it had so much power. We got retested at 203. And we haven't got it turned down because the tractor seemed to be working away merrily. Doesn't seem to be a bother at all to it. But anyway, so the plan for this year would be the Fendt would basically live on the double mowers, and it'll only come off for reseeding and that kind of thing. Then the 3 Masseys will share the roles of the tankers and the trailers and the Celtic and the balers. And then the MX will probably end up doing some baling just when we get busy. But that's the running theory anyway. So, wait and see. Wish us a little bit of luck. And hopefully